Trash containers. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste. The container sounds a muffled gong. Whoa! A bridge with loose nails and rot-infested wood that creaks and guess so. Just be careful. Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here. Because you see it, finally. All the other walls on all the... Oh, wall father. Absolutely. Cindy the Skull has a paintbrush and paint. Yes, great thinking.
Hello again, officers.
What for? But boring. You're not using my lovely brush.
Well, if it's for art.
But what kind of art are we talking about? Sounds like you're just about to live out your self-pity, not make a statement. I can't have shit art on my conscience. You're about to cry internally, aren't you, Piggy? Oh, pathetic. Just give up.
They do say the painter... No, it's great.
That's pretty fucked up. Even for you, Piggo.
You're a real sad sack. You know that? Go ahead.
Oh, but I'm all out of...
You know what you should be able to find in your government-issued vehicle? Red dye. Are you kidding me? Fuel oil is so much cooler. No way you're disfiguring.
Oh.
She does have eyes that seem to be smeared with coal.
It doesn't have to do anything at all.
The inspiration will come to her once hell.
Yes. Does anyone? Shoot, Piggy.
This must be the Royal Lion. Guillaume's... You try to be as silent as you can. Finally, there might be important... As you hold the open door, you can feel the air move. This is the flag of Revachol. This isn't just one sun, but there are little suns dancing around the big sun. It's an optical atmospheric anomaly the first settlers saw. The flag accepts your honorable salute with quiet dignity. A row of mugs sits on the shelf, a little ring. Though cheerful, there's something disdainful in the way the curves and lines. It looks like the artist is celebrating diversity. Of course, you slippery bastard. Yes, your broken mug friend would feel very much at home here. The owner of this collection could be dumping his trash in the Whirling's container. An interesting little clue. Let's see where this goes. Perhaps you should break into apartments more often. Who knows? Could be. But this clothes in a trash lead. You could ask Everard who this person is. hire a poor communal.
Do you have a warrant?
It's general.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? On the contrary, officer. There are yet communers you have not talked to. And don't look so surprised. In a time like this, it would be strange if Wild Pines didn't have eyes on the harbour.
They must have someone in an overlook position, near the gates.
I suggest you go back and canvass for more suspects. You have? And how did you like Mr. Clare?
Finally, time to choose sides.
Oh, come on now. He has his uses. How else would he have stayed in power all these years? Or wait, actually, corruption. That's how he's done it. Fantastic, worm-like corruption. Reaching into the bowels of the earth, of course. I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a worm myself. But how could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to...
Intellectually speaking, it would be quite interesting to hear what she has to say about these things. Tell her she'll like you for it.
Oh. That's so helpful of him. So very, very helpful. And how is that going? Do you have any lead? Did he now? Well, then it should be any day now. Unless, of course, he's lying to you.
Perhaps he is.
Weird. Oh no. One of the positive things to come from the revolution is the unhindered exchange of information, which isn't to suggest our talks constitute corporate espionage.
The lieutenant might have, but I don't remember you logging anything as anything, Harry.
Of course, Detective. Until then, is there anything I...
Hello again, officer.
You step in and close your arms around this foreign body.
What is happening?
She seems to be confused. Your hands are wrapped around her polyester coat. The situation is oddly intimate. Your cheek is pressed against her shoulder. Her hand is trapped between your chest. 5 seconds pass.
What are you doing, officer? Fighting for it how? Oh. I guess it's better than nothing. Keep fighting on, my fellow comrade. Is there anything else I can help you with? I don't mean to disrespect, sir, but you are being a bit of a cockatoo here. Nothing. Go read.
Maybe you should. What if the cockatoo is your astral captain? Or your heraldic bird?
Wonderful. The store is open. No, absolutely not. Are you a policeman or a nanny? They are not missing, sir.
You know where they are. They're at home, smoking, giving the ladder of vices a...
What? That's just... My daughters are perfectly fine. They're almost grown up now anyway. They're past the age they need me protecting them from everything now. My youngest girl, Jolie, is just shy of 16. Jenny, she is turning 18 next month. But we shouldn't even be talking about them. Why do you need to know this? Haven't I repeatedly told you that they're not missing?
Did someone say party? You could use a party. Hunt it down.
There is no investigation here.
Okay, it must be asked then. What are you doing here? The woman before you nods and... Advanced race theory. Everything is calm in the eye of the race storm. Your mind is... You see a heavy... Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass. There's a little slide panel up there to let some air in. No need... The door is closed. You should pick that fat, juicy cigarette butt from the tray. Who knows what you are? A monster, a murderer. How very astute of you. This renders it ineffectual. You should look for a whole cigarette, or better yet, an entire pack. Strike that. A carton. Make sure they're all healthy and able-bodied. Good. They'll make you stronger and better. Plus, smoking them gives massive bonus.
still here. Stuck. Nope. Don't smoke. Some of the other drivers do, though.
Yup, nothing wrong with that statement.
You could also check the kiosk down the street. Frit.
Everything still drugs? I don't go in for that, officer. Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are excellent. That's very cool. A lot of the coolest detectives do drugs. Sadly, I don't have any drugs on sale.
Sir, it appears to be true. No drugs in sight. Not in the box of sunglasses or under the speakers.
That's even cooler. You investigating that and all. But, I am not a lorry driver.
A blatant lie, sire. Yet he tells it with such conviction.
Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him. He has an agenda against me because I'm an immigrant who works harder than he does. He's a hater. No, I just said I work harder and he's an asshole.
Realizing he can't get out of it. Smart man.
Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream. No! That's insane. It's the fat hater. He's been eyeing me for a week and he sent you here. Maybe he's the one, huh? Have you thought about that? Nothing. I told you. I'm not a dumb guy. Crowd, you know.
No, he wasn't talking about an abstract crowd. There's more here. He's afraid of this crowd, whoever they are, more than he is of the racist lorry man.
Okay, look. There's bad people here doing bad things. That's all I know. Please don't get me into this mess. I've been in Revachol for 15 years, working my way up.
Here we go. There's a tiny bit of truth on the table. Zoom in on it.
It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her, she's no lady.
Interesting. Could this driver be connected to the Hardy Boys?
I don't know. Maybe. If she is, I haven't gone near her. I don't get involved. I told you.
He's not ruling her out.
All of them. I don't know. I told you all I know. Are we cool now? I don't know. I'm not local. I don't know anything about that. All right. Very cool. Let's cap this off with a purchase. A pair of funky sunglasses, detective. You deserve it. And I deserve it too. Don't you think?
The woman is still hot.
Huh? What is it? Did you just call me a lady, Herife?
She clearly doesn't think she's a lady. Don't repeat it.
I'm not that either, Herife. I've gone too far from it all to remember what was between my legs. It doesn't work like that on the long haul. I'm only terrifying to small children and to those who used to know me.
Yeah, it's not her. Believe me.
How should I know? Do I look like I spend a lot of time with the other communers sniffing around? The big ones, the trucks. There's no women and men there, it's all just... In the middle of this town, there's a ghostly motorway.
You feel very cold suddenly, as if standing face to face with a terrifying adversary. Then the feeling dissipates, and all you see is an aging woman. In the background, a quiet song seeps from her cabin into the air.
Because they can no longer recognize the person I once was. Oh, Sim.
A lorry stuck in the...
Looking for something odd? No.
He's got a smoke right there in his fucking hand. Snatch that shit out of his fat fingers. You need it after listening to his garb.
Can't have it. Evidence of what? I haven't done anything. But what, officer? Sorry, I couldn't be of any help. I don't know what you're talking about. Listen up, fuckwit. You don't scare me. You cops don't run Rivachel West. You don't run Martinez. You don't run shit. I ain't saying...
Isn't saying nothing saying something? Or did I just blow your mind?
I'm not in trouble right now, and I don't know what you're talking about. Listen up, fuckwit. You don't scare me. You cops don't run Rivachel West. You're all bark and no bite. The what? Here on the street? You won't? Now fuck off. I don't know what you're talking about. He did something. He stole his employer's goods.
The man bites his lip and...
I don't know what you're talking about. Listen up, fuckwit. I ain't saying...
Isn't saying nothing saying something? Or did I just blow your mind?
No, I'm not. I'm not coming anywhere. I don't know what you're talking about. Listen up, fuckwit. I ain't...
Isn't saying nothing...
What? How about you fuck off? I ain't saying anything.
Men like this only respect to... Time to turn up the volume.
Fuck you, I told you.
There. His voice grows smaller as yours.
Look, fuck you, man. It's some lorry down there. Green banged up thing. I don't fucking know who she is. I don't know. I don't even know her name. She just rolls with the fleet and acts like a big shot. Some dyke, probably. Past the monument. Down there. The Green Temple. Now leave me the fuck alone.
This screen found. This is the one he pointed to. The green lorry. The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered. The door is locked. There's no picking this lock. The owner has put special care into with a key or a tool. Good thing you have one. This screen found A to Z. With a firm grip, you raise the pry bar. A glint of light catching on the tip. Call down the hammer of truth and justice. Release your secrets, lorry cabin. The window shatters and droplets of glass fly everywhere. The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the wall. A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's an issue of Petit Ferique. It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast. These formulas look oddly painful. Maybe it's the hangover, but the pull-out tool slides back into its nest. The rest is as it was. These are movie posters. One of them particularly catches your... There's definitely perfume in the air. It's spicy, with a hint of amber. The actress is draped in a sheath dress. Wait, doesn't she resemble someone you know? This is Tijon. She wasted away in a drug den called The Door to the River. The remnants of a sweet juniper. The actresses and the looks like the frequency dial is absent. The peculiar frequency tableau indicates that at least it has to be an advanced model to fit so many frequencies next to each other without. Doesn't look like it. Unclear. For contacting an entire fleet of lorries, for example. Not without the dial key, the ghostly actresses, and the rusty toolbox. You wedge yourself. But one odd detail, that sandpaper adds extra grip. Matching one of the footprints found from the crime scene, which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching. Looks like it, yes. You've identified the missing 8th person at the lynching. Do you think that Hardy and his boys had anything to do with the drug trade? You should probably still talk to them, see what they've got to say. The movie stars are still... You close the rusty old lorry door. All around you, rain falls on the great city of Revachol. The spring thaw must be here. Looking up at the sky, cold water dripping, grey sky like great battleships, clouds colliding with one another, humid. Your coat shields you from the rain. Sheets of rain over the water. The ruins of a half-sunken sea fort crumble on an inlet. Your hair is an oily mess flecked. The great gates of the industrial harbor are... You shudder, looking down at your feet. 2 green snakeskin shoes, Capeside apartments. Hallways collapse. The evening news. A yard. Rain. A traffic jam. Rain thrumming. The road ascends. A raised motorway loops above the ghetto. To be in Martinez when standing in the rain.
Have a brother in the cut. Where the hood at?
In the rain-swept distance, above the rooftops of Jamrock, a repurposed silk mill stands perched. Your vision blurs. You wipe your face with your hand. Coalition-era statics hang. Collapsed storm drains. These spring thaw will not last. The winter will return to Revachol. Finger pistol, 9mm. Snap, snap, baby. Turns out guns aren't that much for protecting as they are for attacking people. If you want to protect people, really work for them, you have to whip out your signature dual 9mm Villiers finger pistols.
I saw you poking around in Lady Driver's lorry. She in trouble? Nah, man. I was telling you the truth. I really didn't think it'd be her. She's okay. Sort of troubled, but still, a nice person.
So that's what that emotion was before. It was wishful thinking.
Oh man, that's like a load off my mind. All that stress was messing up my rhymes.
He chooses to believe what's best for her. The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm. Wait, there's something here, stored away.
Whoa. What else? Silent communion. That's good. Dang, that's some great shit. You came up with that yourself. No matter. It's a fine stanza. You're not so bad after all. For a cop, they're more often in the fists than rhymes, see? Let alone honesty in verse. Well, you've given me some hope, I guess.
You found some common ground with this man. Even impressed him. The next time you look in the mirror, though, remember those words.
I've got nothing to say to you. I am not.
You could be Liz. You could be anything. You could even be a model.
Even a mod? Glenn, I went to law school. I am an attorney.
He's right. With a face like that, she could be on the cover of Le Debutante International. The cold look in her eyes speaks louder than words. It's not her. She's not a hardy girl. Definitely.
Like I already told you, I'm a legal counselor. Do you? What you want is of no significance. What are we going to do? The union isn't going to do anything to you. It is not a crime syndicate.
Goddamn right it is.
If anything, it is the RCM who do things to people.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Like hell you have. There is no local drug trade. That's a mighty interesting theory. I guess that's what you would need to do, theoretically. A big, strong, state-run monopoly would outcompete the runts on the street.
Yeah, man. Theoretically, that's what you would do. To get rid of the gangs, the dealers.
You would need good, trustworthy people to take their place, of course.
Yes, but that just sends everyone else to Jamrock, doesn't it?
We haven't done anything, but theoretically, it has to be someone's problem, so it might as well be yours.
Titus, I'm amazed. Where is the same professionalism when it comes to other topics? You're doing great. I hardly have to interfere at all.
I don't know, Lizzie. I guess theoretical things don't make me emotional. My answer is, fuck off. Mind your own business. There is no 8th Hardy. I run this goddamn scene.
And here we go. Back to the usual.
I know! Fatty walked on all fours. He's so fucking fat he left 2 sets of footprints.
Despite everything, the little man is quick on his feet.
Go fuck your mom, Dennis.
That's more like it, boys. You heard him. It was Angus on all fours. Anything else you need to know?
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again. Of course, dear. Is there a particular cryptid that I thought we'd agreed on just one cryptid, sweetie? Your work must get quite frustrating. The biggest cryptid is, of course, the giant of Coconur. The giant lives in the most arid parts of the vast Coconur Desert. No one knows for sure. The towering luminosity of Coconur, that's what makes it so peculiar. There are limits, you see.
Gravity anomaly. Digging it. Digging this parascientific stuff right here.
Of course.
Can I help you?
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging your presence. The man says a couple of sentences in that strange language. I'm pretty sure he asked you a question. He doesn't know your language. You can just say something cool in return.
Borscht need more vodka?
Of course, vodka. Now that makes a very, very special borscht. In turning it up seems like a dangerous idea. Honestly, the place is a powder keg. He smiles, nodding vigorously, then pours half a bottle of vodka into the pot. With a whistle, he stirs the brew. The mention of mañana gets his attention. He smiles and delivers a whole slew of... He smiles and nods enthusiastically and, chattering away in his language, ladles some brew into a small thermal cup, then hands it to you. The door is closed.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
All around you, rain keeps falling down. On the wooden boards she's standing on, and on the water around you.
Very rugged. Good choice. Now, I suspect you had questions. Nothing like talking to pass a rainy day? Yes, my eyes on the harbour have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered? It doesn't really matter, and I do apologise for the surveillance.
One of the tall buildings over...
In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume... Ah, good to hear. I wouldn't want to pry into a confidential police matter, but in the event you'd like to share more... Clever. If you suspect a woman in this sort of skullduggery, good move on their part. A runaway. Good work. This is a tangible lead towards solving the whole mystery. We contain multitudes, do we not? It might not be pertinent to her profession, but who knows? It may help you find her yet. That speaks of the vastness and sophistication of the operation. Were you able to examine the radio? Sensible for her to disable access to such essential information. High-intensity microwave frequencies. They're used for navigational purposes, to compress the inter-eastlery space. They may use it to communicate with incoming freighters.
As the shipments approach Revachol, somehow you suspect something more sinister.
I appreciate you placing your trust in me. Thank you again for looking into this matter. You have my gratitude and the gratitude of Wild Pine's group. Now, per our original agreement, it's time for me to share company secrets with you. I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands.
The words bloodbath sound cold in her mouth. They taste of iron and strawberries.
I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail. Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. Crenel, an Oronese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment. The story is, one of them, the colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him. He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched. Last Sunday night, nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbour. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenel contractors carry out their orders. For now, it's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow. It's not good, no. My only hope is that you provide a single concrete suspect before the mercenaries indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply, if you don't pin this on someone good, and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
The Union has over 2,000 men.
Have you ever seen a hornet invade a beehive, detective? It's not pretty.
The Serai's giant hornet, the world's 2nd largest insect, can kill 40 honeybees a minute, while a group of 30 can decimate an entire hive of 20,000 bees in less than 4 hours.
Oh, that's so cool.
These men work in tandem using semi- and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all. As I said, a bloodbath. Too many things have already gone wrong. Nameless, badgeless detective of the Citizens Militia.
Come on.
All we can do is keep the little that is not from following suit. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation. Yes, I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West. Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell. They boast a long list of clients: Saint-Baptiste, Welchman-Lorenz, Eendracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in 3rd or 4th world countries. Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though. Ah, yes, your condition. The International Collaborative Police maintains a database for these sorts of things. Perhaps you should consult it. I have, and they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here.
She's being truthful. She is pressing them as hard as she can.
Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it. The remaining contractors, their tribunal, that the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez. Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him. That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumour about a rumour. In any case, it's what the Colonel's remaining colleagues believe. If you mean did I see him alive, yes. But I did not know him. Lely, his service name, a nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. One is a man, Corty, they call him, a nickname as well. The other a woman, Phyllis DePaul. Corty is the gunner, I believe. DePaul is a radio operator. He was 40, or 50. It's hard to say which. He was Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Oranese, or Messinian maybe. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it, through the injury. That's all I know, I guess.
Must be hard to force your face to move in a new fashion. If you continue like this, you'll have an aneurysm. Then you'll have to.
They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes, ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting. You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
One is obviously the scab leader at the harbour gates. The one chanting the idiotic slogans. He's barely maintaining his disguise. The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers.
Would afford a good vantage point. In any case, it's practically inaccessible. That may be so. I still hope you heed my advice. There's no need to kick the hornet's nest.
The situation at the gates is a powder keg. She says she wants to avert catastrophe, but that's where she draws the line. I call bullshit.
I hope I can answer it better. Until the executions start. Truthfully, I don't know. Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative. It's a matter of days, not weeks. I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please ask. Of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
For about half a minute, in silence. Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface.
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars. I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent. Port cities. On the oceans. This is an Oranese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the DeLorean century. As early as 300 years ago, the sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they would call it, quite a few. Vredefort, the Oranese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, Revachol. Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart.
The old world past.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning.
Vredefort? Vredefort has a military academy. The Seminoles Islands saw a recent conflict.
That makes sense to me. We have no more use for a map of the waterways, just like we don't need sailors the way we used to. This is what the custom would morph into on the Occident.
For all the boys looking for adventure, a blood spatter on the seas.
His platoon members? The other contractors, though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture. This man was their friend and comrade.
Surely there are other people to ask about the tattoo. This is not necessary to complete the task, officer. It's a dangerous side task. Search elsewhere.
Do what you have to do, Detective. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security, but if you should wade into the mob to find out, I couldn't stop you. Is there anything else I can...
Shame on you!
Don't think so.
Wordless, he takes the photo and looks at it. Grey eyes dart back and forth, hard as a stone.
Fucking loincloths. Really did him in. Yeah.
He's clenching his teeth. There is silent pressure behind them.
What it means.
In what must have been Seminine.
I can tell you what this one means. Only one. You want to hear what happened here? Our colonel is deep in the bush here. Deep in the fucking bush. In Benito, 41. Monsoon season.
Benito is one of the inhabited islands of the Seminese archipelago.
He spent a month behind enemy lines, scouting kept villages. Nothing but fucking bugs and snakes for fun.
With some strange emotion. This is about to get really graphic.
Our boy, he's only a captain then, but he knows how these men think. At dawn, he comes upon two kids. We shot the boy. He was useless, but the girl, she was nice. A little fat, you know, but not too old. She was quite the entertainment for the week she lasted. Expired in the hands of Sarge Mason, the kind of guy who'd make Chief there shit his pants and cry like a bitch. God, Mason couldn't let go. Cut the tits off her cold body and fucking ate them. Drowned in a creek a week later.
Something stirs in your stomach.
No, I was in the domain, in Jamrock. Being a fucking mask is getting sweaty. I want to take my mask off. Go ahead.
All right now. Free commerce! Keep the goods flowing!
On the photo in your hands, the dead man's skin is studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them, littering his dead skin.
Free flow of commerce!
Don't talk to him any longer. Just leave, please.
Fucking bug.
I'm going to interpret that as a yes. There's a tribunal.
How about you fuck off now, huh?
The man's breathing steadies, but his eyes are still narrow. Slowly, he's trying to get his right to work dance back on.
How can I help you? Yeah, the janitor who gave me the key to his apartment said the guy's a bit of an asshole. I don't know about that. Anyway, like I said before, Bossman said that Weasel's not a friendly boy yet. So, thanks for helping out. Los Ardis? They're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that.
The unpromising race pupil return. The unpromising.
The man looks at you.
You are not Santiago. Santiago is not you. And look, babe. The minion of law is also an assist.
So unadvanced.
The basic race education he received in high school has led him to think his phylum are the sole authors of race. You could have used this opportunity to overcome your narrow al-rule method. Take solace from the fact that these thoughts will never entirely leave your brain. They will be with you on the day you die.
Damn, Jean.
Was there an out of this for you with success? Or was the rhetoric game rigged? I can't tell.
The unpromising race pupil.
The man.
And everyone can see that.
Baby, don't be mean.
Anything for you, babe. Look.
So?
The bazooka, you could have it take all.
Damn, Jean.
Was there an out of...
mister.
Mr. Dubois, every worker... And for his fellow man. That's right, Mr. Dubois. You're turning out to be quite the individualist there. So, you had business with me? I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you?
He's trying to figure out if you're lying.
Exactly the kind of fascist memorabilia I was expecting. Weasel probably prays to it every night for the downfall of the Union.
He was testing you, and you succeeded.
Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is gonna be good. Racist mugs in the trash and in the apartment? You guys are just light years ahead of me. I have so much confidence in the ability of your organization. I'm relieved you're doing this and leaving me to do what I do best, helping people. Oh, no, 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 no. I don't cross paths like that. All I want is for you to succeed in your investigation.
Oddly, it seems to be true.
Believe me, Harry, he's a nobody. Just your basement variety nobody. Can't imagine him being connected to a high-caliber case like this, but he does live nearby. Maybe it's a pedantic weasel. Fascists are known to be neat freaks. I feel like a real detective right now, Harry. Am I getting this right? Oh, you're too kind, Harry. Way too kind. I know I'm not a real police officer. You are. By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flatcaps. Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries, a security contractor. Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship, and they send hired killers to mow us down with machine gun fire?
He performs a motion as if spraying bullets from a machine gun.
I'm talking beasts. Hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Sadamoritsa. You name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages, killing little children for the Senorita Pineapple Company, Harry. Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant. No, Harry, the elephant is metaphorical and so is the village, but the mercs and their brutality are very real. Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with that big crane. It's actually very fun, but enough about me and my fun container. The killers the company hired, I think there were 3 of them. One of them got downright suicidal, getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy, the one who likes hanging out and trees. Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers. We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back.
An entire neighborhood of killers.
Potentially, Harry, potentially. We got arm wrestling champions, rowing club people, ex-coal miners, tough guys, all ready to spring into action for their home base. There's a militant wing inside the Union, a group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the neighborhood.
That sounds a bit like organized crime.
They're like you, idealistic people who want to make sure that bad things don't happen. And if they already have, well, punishment must follow.
Again, that sounds like organized crime.
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, socialist democratic fervor drove us to take it upon ourselves to kill this beast that was burdening the land." He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low to avoid retaliation. Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them.
He places a lot of faith in that lawyer girl. Perhaps this is a tactical error? Anyway.
Oh, they are simply fine young men, all 7 of them. Exemplary union members, always working to advance their position in the local socialist democratic movement. Core members. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. Gotta love his initiative. Harry, they're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure they only had the best interests of Revachol in mind. Work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really are just like you.
Separate one from the herd.
Oh, that would definitely be Fat Angus. His feet smell from a city block away, and he's always having noisy stomach troubles. Horrible, revolting guy. You would die, Harry. You would die, and in the process start a bloody and completely unnecessary war between the Debarders Union and the Citizens Militia. Angus, his ever-growling stomach, and his smelly feet are all part of the Union. You have as much right to arrest him as he has to arrest you. Actually less, because it's his home and his backyard. You are a guest here, Harry. Please remember that. Oh, Harry. This is getting real grim, and there's no need for that. We are friends. How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. That's their MO. It's what they do. Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in Sediment, a security contractor. The strike was over the workers' right to wear protective footwear, Harry. These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding. You said it, Harry. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strikes. Of course, you're always one step ahead of me, Harry. I'm no genius. I'm in this position because people like me. Tribunal? That sounds serious, Harry. We Union men should be shitting ourselves. I wish you hadn't told me that. I'm gonna lose sleep over this.
He's clearly happy about the tribunal.
Oh, Harry, what do I really think about the tribunal? You're trying to climb to second base with old Everard before you've even courted him properly.
He wants you to do more things for him before.
Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal.
Wait, the girl by the whirling, who was keeping an eye on you. Is he talking about her?
I did that, didn't I? She thinks of herself as a guerrilla fighter. These middle-class kids and the books they read are crazy, Harry. I think she would rather be an insurgent than a lawyer. I hope it's a phase. But of course, it's the least I can do for my good friend Harry. I'll do it right after we've concluded this talk. Also, Harry, here's 5 real. I'm not giving you anything. I'm just holding out 5 real. Oh, I wasn't offering it to you, just holding it out there. But I'm willing to share information. Was it a good talk? I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. Heck, I even wanted to tell you what I really want to achieve with the strike. I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And of course, I also wanted you to find your gun. But it's like I can't completely trust you. Yet. Yes, Harry. It's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left. I want to, but I just can't.
A man of the left? So you have to be a social democrat? He's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats.
What does your heart tell you about your lost gun, Harry? Does it tell you to forget about it? Or do you think it wants to be found? I think it's lonely and cold. I think it wants to be found, and I have a proposal for you. Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper, and then mail it to my accountant in La Delta. I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth centre in Martinez. It will be righteous. We're gonna get those teenagers off drugs and on roller skates. There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more signatures to get this mission off the ground, Harry. On the coast, Harry, across the canal. There's a cul-de-sac there, a little village they're calling it. A gloomy place. You'll find it. I trust your detective skills.
Water drips from the eaves. A woman looks at her freshly tarred skiff. There's a pair of cavalry boots under the fish in the box, and the wind howls like a vicious spirit.
They are just going to have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings. Right next to a fancy new youth centre, designed by the best architects from Stella Marie.
Is he absolutely sure the tenants won't be thrown out in the street?
Am I? Harry, these people, Martinez is the most important thing in my life. I would never let anything bad happen to them. We're going to build a youth centre there. The value of their properties goes up and kids have a place to play in. I'm looking out for these people, not pulling the rug from under them, Harry. I'm looking out for all of Martinez, not just the harbour. You bring joy to my heart, Harry. Such a pleasure to be working with you. Here. You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I hear there is some trouble with the waterlock, but they should fix it by Wednesday morning. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then we can talk about your gun. Most certainly. By all means, Harry. What's on your mind?
Ah, yes. Your side investigation. Thank you. You've got some spirit clearing up phony drug accusations alongside this murder. I'll talk to the mayor and see if I can get you the key to the...
Actually, Revachol doesn't have a mayor. He refuses to discuss it further. It's probably just a small nuisance to him.
See you soon, Debarder. Just kidding. But not too much.
Rigorous self-critique. Here it is. Hard facts from the man you are. You once jerked off in the locker room and were caught. You held a young woman by the arm and kept her in your apartment for 20 minutes against her will. That's right. These are not flights of fancy. These are real deeds, Harry, emerging from the darkness of your past. You tried shooting a fleeing suspect in the foot, but hit him in the pelvis, crippling him for life. And, above all, you let life defeat you. All the gifts your parents gave you, all the love and patience of your friends, you drowned in a neurotoxin. You let misery win, and it will keep on winning till you die, or overcome it. before the cargo container. Its draw has not lessened since.
Welcome to Frit.
What's that magazine she's reading?
You mean this? This is Pop Stars.
Looks like it also has something called Police de la Mode, featured on page 34.
It's where they rate different outfits famous people wear. It's kind of funny. They're kind of mean. It's about who's the most stylish. No. I don't like it. I hate it. I don't know. Frit? A 7 to 11 grocery store. I think they think that the extra T makes it funkier.
The story goes that normal Fritta, with 2 T's, a men's workwear shop in Vredefort, was already taken.
Okay. I'm not really supposed to be chatting to anyone, but... wow. I didn't know you worked for the union, sir. Anything else I can do for you?
No, you don't work for the union. The union works for you. That was easy. Blow the whole thing on speed and gin right now. Speed and gin. Great combo.
A warehouse? I don't know. Maybe. I don't really care what Frit does.
She scrunches up her face.
Fine. Frit doesn't have a warehouse. Just a little back room here. Okay? I don't really know anything. Not really. No. I don't know, really. I don't know. Uh-huh. Is this about the questions again?
A colourful display.
Again, I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health. Here you go, mister.
There it is. A brave little army in your pocket. You picked the best one. This soldier is fat and succulent. Get a load of this rock and roll cop hair, people. The lighter's dark green disposable plastic. Safety's op-
Hey, you can't smoke in here. Please, don't fuck with Frit.
Shut up. It's already happening. Thick, warm smoke gets sucked down into your lungs. Immediately, you feel a warm nostalgia fill your head, body, and soul. A nostalgia for yourself, the man you were in your youth.
In the bottom right corner of the screen, there's a cigarettes button. Cigarettes gives +1 to intellect skills, logic, rhetoric, conceptualization.
very large. Oh yeah, the antlers on the hood of the man's cloak. And
2 real.
That's very cheap for a printed t-shirt. That
It should belong to anyone who is but why? I deal in goods, not services.
smells like worn cotton.
Sniffing is okay, but please don't try anything on. Can't have you leaving your welcome to here.
A typical Martinez streetlight sits. The light. This would make quite a statement.
Yes, of
His manner is casual, but his speech is
700.
A bargain? No, it's not. He's trying to sweet talk you into buying trash.
The light has undergone 3 transformations.
The light has been removed and rewired.
The most important transformation is the light's placement among all.
Okay, that checks out. The boomboxes on the shelf look well. One especially catches your eye. Just make sure it works before you buy it.
Is the Harman Welsh W2, made in Vespa, designed in Seoul, plays all reel-to-reel formats, 2mm, 8mm, 12mm. It's even got a little radio in there. If police work means playing tapes, sure. Absolutely. I've tested each one myself with recordings of.
That's odd. Why doesn't he like music?
The stuff I record myself.
Maybe you should ditch music as well. Get into these more experimental sounds he's describing.
And here you are.
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets. It's big men on big.
Yes.
They're not all blue.
Which ones?
This set.
I think their poverty has been exaggerated. Maybe.
Why? What's this?
Oh, that's the headless phone rider. There's been a lot of interest in that.
He doesn't elaborate on
The headless phone, 50 cents.
He lost his cap when he lost.
Did I mention that this figurine is supposed to be luck? Hello again. How can I help you?
Okay, he definitely is high. Looking at his wares, talking to him, that might give you more clue.
Someone else came here.
What? Sold? This is a pawn shop, and it did feel as if you've met before.
She didn't seem like a policeman. Although she kept, truth be told, she was terrifying. I hadn't considered that. This is what.
He considered it, but his priority.
You were adamant about, and I don't like my.
A needle in a haystack.
Maybe. Shady looking guys came in here yesterday. They went their way.
Wait, then it might be true. People as oleaginous as ever are.
Of course. Sure thing. Sure, man. Of course. It's in working order still.
Couple of this panel usually pull the lever or nothing happens. Nothing happens. A spring brings the lever back to its original. Wasn't there a sign over there saying functionality we pull the lever or nothing happens? A spring brings the lever. Wasn't there a sign over there saying function? The tracks are as they have ever been. A bit more worn, perhaps. Maybe. Probably.
I've got nothing to say to...
It's you again. What is it? Oh, so you went and talked to my mommy, and now she's making me play with you. Is that it?
And what's gonna happen if we don't? You gonna go and tell on us? You gonna let him talk to me like that, Titus?
Let's see. Yeah, I guess I am. The old man sent word you'd be around again. That's the reason I'm being so forthcoming with you. Don't wear it out.
But having Everard back you up like that did seem to have some effect.
Yeah. By friends, you mean his squad mates from Crenell.
Wouldn't want to beat up his grandma.
Nervous, snickering. There's a rush of adrenaline present.
Let them come. The Hardy Boys are right fucking here.
You heard the man. Right here. We're armed. We got the whole district behind us.
Yeah. A well-oiled murder machine.
The mood is on the rise. They're feeling confident, ready to punch out the whole Merc platoon.
Big fucking surprise. They hire psycho scum, arm them to the teeth, and let them loose in the city. What do you think is gonna happen?
He's really prepped himself up for this. He has to keep the fear in check.
We got weapons of our own. We got Ister 50s, Zeelagers. Glenn's got a knock cannon at home. I guess we're gonna see, aren't we?
That was an unsure phrasing.
Right about what? That a 50 caliber bullet goes through shit? Yeah, I am. So are the local gangs. The fucking Barmy Army and the Madre scum. You've been out there. Seen any around?
Yeah. Where are they now, huh? Sent back to Madre in an airtight cargo crate.
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
We're not bees. We're men. We're socialists.
Easy, E. He's trying to phase you. What are you trying to do? Scare my men? What do you mean, okay? We don't need you or your lost gun. We all have our guns. We'll just use those if it's okay with you.
Can I help you?